Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive.
Hi, everyone.
Today we're diving into the life and the universe of really one of the biggest icons, I think, in history,
Oh, yeah.
Albert Einstein.
Definitely an icon.
And you shared Walter Isaacson's biography, Einstein, his life and universe. And I have to admit, I was a little bit starstruck going through this.
Yeah, I think anyone would be.
We all know kind of the image, right? The genius with the crazy hair.
Yeah.
But this deep dive is going to reveal a lot about the man behind those kind of mind-bending theories.
Yeah, I think that's what Isaacson does so well, is he really humanizes Einstein.
Yeah.
And, we're gonna uncover some surprising personal details, some scientific struggles,
Okay.
and yes, even a little bit of romance,
Ooh.
to really paint, I think, a more complete picture of who he was.
So we all know about, MC4 and the theory of relativity, but what I found really fascinating was that Einstein wasn't always this shining star.
Oh, yeah.
He actually failed his first college entrance exam.
He did.
And what's even more, like his professors initially wouldn't even give him a job after graduation.
Yeah, it's almost ironic, right, considering his later success.
Right.
But, these early rejections, I think, reveal a crucial aspect of Einstein's personality, his fierce independence and nonconformity.
Hmm.
Even as a child, he clashed with the rigid structure of the German school system.
Yeah.
He saw it as stifling creativity and independent thought,
Mm.
and this rebellious streak, right,
Yeah.
coupled with his intense curiosity, I think really laid the foundation for his unconventional path
Right.
in the world of physics.
It's like those setbacks almost fueled him in a way.
Yeah, definitely, I would agree with that.
Now, another key figure, I think, in his early life was his history and Greek teacher, Joseph Windler.
Yes, just Gwintler.
Windler instilled in Einstein a really strong belief in global citizenship,
Right.
which is interesting considering he renounced his German citizenship at just 16.
Precisely, and that act, I think, speaks volumes about his character, right? It shows
Yeah.
that he wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo,
Yeah.
even as a teenager, and this independent spirit, this sense of being a citizen of the world,
Right.
really permeated his scientific thinking as well.
It's almost like a through line.
Absolutely.
It makes you wonder how our early experiences really shape our worldview,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Now, on a lighter note, there's this great anecdote about young Einstein playing violin with his landlady's neighbor.
Yes.
It seems like he heard Mozart being played one evening and just rushed over violin in hand. Didn't even bother to dress up.
Yeah, this highlights his lifelong love for music.
Yeah.
Particularly Mozart. He often spoke about how music played a crucial role in his thought processes. He said he often
Mhm.
thought in music
Wow.
and felt it helped him to kind of tap into this harmony of the universe.
That's amazing.
It's a beautiful thought, right?
Yeah.
Connecting the beauty of music to the elegance of the cosmos.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It shows like a depth to him that goes beyond just, equations and formulas.
Absolutely.
And speaking of connections, we can't forget about the role of romance in Einstein's life.
Ooh, yes, romance.
He had a few significant relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like they often intertwined with his scientific pursuits.
Yeah.
His first love was Mileva Maric,
Mileva Maric.
a brilliant mathematician and physicist herself.
Yes, the only woman in his class
Wow.
at Zurich Polytechnic.
Their relationship, it sounds like it was complex.
It was very complex and fascinating. They exchanged countless letters filled with both scientific discussions and, passionate declarations of love.
Wow.
It shows just how intertwined their lives were, both intellectually and emotionally.
It's too bad there's still kind of this debate about like how much she contributed to his early work.
Yeah, that's a shame. And it's a reminder, I think, that history often overlooks the contributions of women in science.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now let's get to kind of what some might call the good stuff.
Okay.
Einstein's scientific journey. Specifically, we got to talk about his miracle year of 1905. At just 26 years old, while working as a patent clerk,
Right?
he publishes 4 groundbreaking papers
Yeah.
that would forever change our understanding of the universe.
Unbelievable.
I mean, how is that even possible?
It's really mind-boggling.
Yeah.
1905 was a watershed moment for physics. It was in that year that he published revolutionary papers on the photoelectric effect,
Okay.
Brownian motion, special relativity,
Wow.
and the equivalence of mass and energy, which of course gave us the iconic E.M. Sephora.
Yeah.
It's no exaggeration to say that these papers sent shockwaves through the scientific community. They were radical, they challenged the very foundations of classical physics as we knew it.
Yeah, I'm imagining there were some jaws dropping in physics departments.
Whoa.
Yeah, worldwide.
I think so.
Now, I have to ask you about something I've always heard. Didn't Einstein just ignore the Michelson-Morley experiment?
Ah, the Michelson-Morley experiment.
The one that tried to detect the luminiferous ether?
Yes, that's a common misconception. Einstein was actually well aware of the Michelson-Morley experiment and its implications. So for those who might not know, this experiment attempted to prove the existence of this invisible substance called luminiferous ether, which scientists believe light waves traveled through.
Okay.
So the experiment failed to detect this ether.
Okay.
Now, instead of ignoring this result, Einstein incorporated it into his thinking.
Wow.
It actually helped him to formulate special relativity because he asked himself, if there's no ether, then what is light waving through?
Right, so it challenged him to rethink the very nature of light and how it travels.
Exactly, and that's what's so remarkable about Einstein, right? He didn't shy away from challenging existing theories.
Yeah.
He embraced the unknown, and he used the failures of previous experiments to actually push scientific boundaries.
Yeah.
And this brings us to the heart of special relativity. Have you ever heard of the lightning train thought experiment?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
I know it's something about lightning striking a moving train.
Exactly. So imagine you're standing on a train platform and you see two bolts of lightning strike the ground at the same time, one in front of the train and one behind it.
Oh, right.
From your perspective, the strikes are simultaneous.
Right.
However, for someone on the train moving towards one strike and away from the other,
Okay.
these strikes would not appear simultaneous. One would appear to happen before the other.
That's so bizarre to wrap my head around.
It is.
So what Einstein is saying is that our perception of time
Yes.
is influenced by our motion.
Precisely, this thought experiment was a breakthrough in understanding the nature of time. Einstein realized that time is not absolute, as Newton had proposed, but rather relative to the observer's frame of reference. And this was a radical departure from classical physics. It revolutionized our understanding of time, space, and motion.
It makes you wonder if, our whole perception of reality is subjective.
Yeah, big question.
So we have these groundbreaking papers
Yes.
that challenge our very understanding of time and space.
Right.
What happens next for Einstein? Does the scientific community just, embrace his theories?
You would think so, right?
Yeah.
You think someone who publishes this groundbreaking work would be instantly lauded as a scientific hero?
Right.
But it wasn't an overnight success story. Despite the groundbreaking nature of his work, Einstein still faced significant challenges in the academic world.
Really?
It took several years for his theories to actually gain widespread acceptance.
So, wait, the guy who came up with special relativity couldn't even land a university job right away.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
It is pretty shocking when you think about it.
I'm dying to know more about these challenges and how he eventually overcame them.
We'll get to those.
But I think it's the place to pause for now.
Okay.
We'll pick up the story in part 2 of this deep dive.
Sounds good.
But until then,
Yes.
I think it's really interesting to think about this.
Okay.
If time is relative, as Einstein proposed, what does that really mean for our perception of reality?
That's a big question.
What other aspects of our existence might be influenced by our individual perspectives?
Lot to think about.
There you go.
Definitely.
All right, we'll be back with part 2.
See you then.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Last time we were talking about Einstein's revolutionary theory of special relativity.
Yes.
And the fact that his path to recognition wasn't as straightforward as you would think.
Right.
But before we go too deep into general relativity and his rise to fame, I want to circle back to his personal life for a second.
Okay.
There's this air of mystery surrounding the story of his daughter, Lysor.
Right.
Lysor's story is kind of this heartbreaking puzzle.
Yeah, it really is.
She was born in 1902 to Einstein and Malevolent marriage before their marriage.
Yeah.
At the time, Einstein was desperately searching for a job, and their relationship wasn't exactly socially acceptable.
Right.
What happened to Lysor after they got married in 1903 remains a mystery.
A total mystery.
To this day.
It's crazy.
So we don't know if she was given up for adoption or if something else happened.
Exactly. It's one of those historical enigmas that continues to fascinate and sadden researchers. The fact that she just disappears from all records shortly after her birth, I think speaks volumes about the societal pressures of the time. It's a stark reminder that even brilliant minds like Einstein were subject to the constraints and expectations of their era.
It put things into perspective,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
definitely.
Sadly, it seems like his marriage to marriage faced a lot of strain,
Yeah,
both personally and professionally.
for sure.
And then there's that whole Nobel Prize divorce agreement.
Oh, right, yes.
Yes.
That is unusual.
Pretty unique.
Yeah, so when they separated in 1914, Einstein was already convinced that he would win the Nobel Prize.
Wow.
So as part of their divorce settlement in 1919, he promised to give Marich any money he received from the award.
That's putting a lot of faith in yourself.
A lot of faith in himself.
So did she actually end up getting the money?
She did. Einstein won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921
Okay.
for his explanation of the photoelectric effect.
Right.
And as promised, he gave the entire prize money to Marich.
Wow.
She used it to purchase a couple of apartment buildings in Zurich.
Smart.
Yeah, which provided her with, some financial security.
What a fascinating story.
Yeah.
It really humanizes Einstein,
Yeah.
showing us this side of him that goes beyond the stereotypical image of the lone genius.
For sure. For sure.
It's a reminder that even the most brilliant minds have complex personal lives and relationships.
Definitely.
Now, Einstein's personal life wasn't the only complicated thing.
Right.
His scientific journey was filled with challenges,
Yeah.
especially when it came to developing his theory of general relativity.
Yeah.
I mean, special relativity was revolutionary,
It was.
but general relativity takes things to a whole other level.
It takes it to a whole other level.
Right.
Absolutely. Special relativity dealt with the relationship between space and time in the absence of gravity.
Okay.
General relativity expands on this,
Okay.
incorporating gravity and showing how it warps the very fabric of space-time. It's a theory of immense beauty and complexity, but getting there was no easy feat even for Einstein.
Right.
He needed some help with the math, and that's where his longtime friend, Marcel Grossmann, enters the picture.
Okay.
A brilliant mathematician.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
Like a real-life buddy comedy where one's like the physics whiz and the other's the math genius.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the power of collaboration, even in the world of theoretical physics.
Right.
Grossmann introduced Einstein to the concepts of Riemannian geometry, which was essential for describing curved spaces and ultimately led to the formulation of general relativity. So you see, Einstein realized that gravity wasn't simply a force acting at a distance, as Newton had theorized, but rather a curvature of space-time itself.
Wow.
Caused by mass and energy.
Okay, I think I need a visual here.
Okay.
Is it like imagining space-time as a giant trampoline and then placing a bowling ball in the center?
Okay, yeah.
The ball creates like a dip in the fabric.
Yeah.
And that's what we experience as gravity.
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
Massive objects like stars and planets warp space-time around them, and this warping dictates how other objects move within that gravitational field. So it's not that Earth is pulling you down,
Okay.
but rather that you're following the curvature of space-time created by Earth's mass.
It completely changes our understanding of how gravity works.
It really does.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard that the race to complete general relativity
Right.
wasn't exactly a solo effort for Einstein.
Yeah.
He had a little bit of a rivalry going on with David Hilbert,
He did.
another brilliant mathematician.
Another brilliant mind.
Right.
Yeah. Hilbert, who was at the University of Göttingen, independently started working on similar ideas around the same time.
Wow.
They were both trying to derive the correct field equations for gravity, and there was definitely a sense of competition, albeit a friendly one between them.
In the end, Einstein published his complete theory of general relativity in November 1915, just a week before Hilbert presented his own version.
Talk about a close call.
A very close call.
But publishing the theory is one thing, proving it is another.
Right.
How do you actually demonstrate that space-time is curved?
Right.
It's not like you can just take a ruler and measure it.
You can't exactly take a ruler and measure it. That's where the 1919 solar eclipse expedition comes in. Arthur Eddington, a British astrophysicist and a strong supporter of Einstein's theories, organized an expedition to observe the deflection of starlight by the sun's gravity during a total solar eclipse.
Okay.
This was a bold move, especially considering World War I was still raging at the time.
It's incredible that science could transcend those political boundaries.
It really is.
So what happened? Did the expedition confirm Einstein's predictions?
They did. The observations showed that starlight was indeed bent by the sun's gravity.
And to the degree predicted by general relativity, it was a phenomenal victory for Einstein and propelled him to global fame.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's not every day that someone comes along and rewrites our understanding of the universe.
Totally changes everything.
But even with his revolutionary work on relativity,
Yeah.
Einstein wasn't done shaking things up in the world of physics.
Not even close.
The quantum revolution was brewing, and his relationship with it was complex, to say the least.
Very complex. You know, while he had helped to pioneer the field of quantum mechanics with his work on the photoelectric effect,
Right.
he became one of its most vocal critics. He struggled with the probabilistic nature of quantum theory and its implications for causality and determinism. He famously said, "God does not play dice with the universe."
So even though he helped to birth quantum mechanics, he couldn't quite reconcile it with his own worldview.
Yeah, he couldn't quite wrap his head around it. He engaged in some legendary debates with Niels Bohr, one of the founders of quantum mechanics at the Solvay conferences.
I've heard about these.
Yeah, these conferences were like heavyweight boxing matches of the mind, you know, with the greatest physicists in the world debating the nature of reality itself.
Wow. What I wouldn't give to have been a fly on the wall during those debates.
Yeah, no, me too.
It's so fascinating that even a mind as brilliant as Einstein's could wrestle with these concepts.
It is, you know, it shows that even geniuses have their blind spots and biases.
Right.
But even in his opposition to certain aspects of quantum mechanics, Einstein's thought experiments and challenges actually helped to sharpen the theory and deepen our understanding of its implications.
It seems like every step of Einstein's journey, both personal and professional, was filled with these challenges and these triumphs.
Absolutely.
It's been incredible learning about his early life, his revolutionary theories of relativity, and his complex relationship with quantum mechanics.
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
I can't wait to dive into the rest of his story.
Yeah.
We'll be back with part 3 of the deep dive, where we'll explore his later years, his move to America, his activism, and his thoughts on God and the universe.
Big questions.
Until then,
Yes.
I want you to consider this.
Okay.
If even Einstein, a mind that seemed capable of grasping the secrets of the universe, struggled with certain aspects of reality,
Yeah.
what does that tell us about the limits of human understanding
Right.
and the mysteries that still lie ahead?
Lots to ponder.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been on this incredible journey
Yeah.
through the life and the universe of Albert Einstein, exploring his revolutionary theories, his complex personal life,
Right.
and even his struggles with the quantum revolution.
So many layers to this guy.
Now I'm really eager to delve into his later years and what they reveal
Yeah.
about the man beyond the science.
Yeah, I think his later years were marked by a deepening commitment to social justice and activism.
Okay.
The rise of fascism and the horrors of World War II really deeply affected him. You know, having experienced anti-Semitism firsthand, he fled Nazi Germany in 1933 and never returned. He found refuge in America, accepting a position at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey.
It's a stark reminder that even the most brilliant minds
Right.
are not immune to the forces of hatred and intolerance.
Unfortunately not.
Did his experiences during this time kind of fuel his activism in a way?
Absolutely. Einstein became a vocal advocate for peace and disarmament, particularly in the face of the growing threat of nuclear weapons. And the stance, I think, was deeply rooted in his humanist beliefs and his understanding of the interconnectedness of humanity,
Right.
which is a bit ironic considering his role in urging President Roosevelt to develop the atomic bomb.
Right.
He feared that Nazi Germany would acquire this devastating weapon first and felt it was necessary for the Allies to have a deterrent.
It must have been an incredibly difficult decision for him considering his pacifist beliefs.
Absolutely a moral dilemma.
How did he reconcile that choice later in life?
You know, Einstein later expressed deep regret for his role in the development of the atomic bomb. He dedicated much of his later years to advocating for nuclear disarmament and world peace.
Wow.
You know, he saw the atomic bomb as a grave threat to humanity and believed that international cooperation was essential to prevent future conflicts.
Right.
It shows, I think, a deep sense of responsibility and a willingness to grapple with the ethical implications of his actions.
Right. His story is a reminder that even geniuses make mistakes.
Yeah,
And true wisdom lies in learning from them.
couldn't agree more.
So aside from his activism, what occupied Einstein's mind during his time at Princeton? Did he continue his scientific explorations?
Oh, absolutely, despite the turmoil of the world. Einstein never lost his passion for unraveling the mysteries of the universe.
Right.
He continued to explore the frontiers of physics, driven by this relentless curiosity. His ultimate goal was to find a unified field theory,
Okay.
a single theoretical framework that could explain all the forces of nature: gravity, electromagnetism, and the weak and strong nuclear
It
forces.
sounds like the holy grail of physics.
It is the holy grail of physics.
Did he ever achieve it?
Well, while he never fully realized his dream of a unified theory, his relentless pursuit of this goal really laid the groundwork for many of the advancements in theoretical physics that followed.
Ah.
His efforts inspired generations of physicists to continue the search for a unified theory, a quest that continues to this day.
Wow.
String theory and other attempts to unify the forces of nature are a testament to his enduring influence on the field.
It's incredible how his work continues to shape scientific exploration.
Yeah.
Even today, but beyond his scientific legacy.
Right.
I'm kind of curious about the man himself. Like, what was Einstein like during his later years?
Einstein cultivated a public persona that was both charming and eccentric.
Okay.
He was known for his playful humor, his love of sailing, and his simple lifestyle. He famously refused to wear socks,
I've heard about this.
even when meeting with dignitaries.
It's legendary.
It's pretty funny. These quirks, combined with his undeniable brilliance, made him a beloved figure.
The sock thing is amazing, but there must have been more to him than just these charming eccentricities.
Right.
What about his views on, like, spirituality and the meaning of life? Did he believe in God?
Oh, that's a great question. Einstein's views on religion and spirituality were complex and nuanced. He often spoke about a sense of awe and wonder at the universe and its intricate laws.
Yeah.
He referred to this feeling as cosmic religious feeling and saw it as the driving force behind scientific inquiry. However, he rejected the idea of a personal God who intervenes in human affairs. He famously said, "The most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible."
Wow.
This statement really encapsulates his belief in the inherent order and understandability of the cosmos.
So in a way, he saw the laws of physics themselves as kind of a divine blueprint.
Exactly. He found a profound sense of spirituality in the elegance and beauty of the natural world.
Yeah.
His views challenged traditional notions of God and religion and offered a more nuanced perspective that resonated with many.
Right. It's a testament to his intellectual depth and his willingness to grapple with these really profound questions.
Absolutely.
As we kind of approach the end of our deep dive, I can't help but feel a sense of sadness that this extraordinary life came to an end.
Yeah.
What were his final days like?
Einstein continued to work on his unified field theory right up until his death in 1955 from a ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm. And it's a poignant detail that on his bedside table, amongst his notes and equations, was a draft of a speech he was preparing to deliver for Israel's Independence Day.
Why?
Never got to deliver it. But it speaks, I think, to his unwavering commitment to his work and his enduring belief in the power of ideas to shape the world.
It's a beautiful and fitting end to the story of a man who dedicated his life to unraveling the mysteries of the universe and advocating for a more just and peaceful world.
It really is.
This deep dive has truly been an eye-opening experience.
Yeah.
It's transformed Einstein from a name in a textbook into this complex, flawed, and deeply human figure.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's made his genius more relatable and his struggles more meaningful.
Totally.
And while we've explored, so many facets of his life and work, there's always more to discover.
Always.
I encourage you, dear listener, to delve deeper into Walter Isaacson's biography.
Yeah, great book.
And explore this rich tapestry of Einstein's life and legacy.
It's worth it.
As Einstein himself said, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing.
Great quote.
So keep questioning, keep exploring,
Yes.
and keep seeking the beauty and wonder that lies hidden within the universe and within ourselves.
Couldn't agree more.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the life and universe of Albert Einstein.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time.